And the point behind the incubator is that when you are dealing with a client or customer and you've qualified them and their timescale is not as what you want it to be, it might be like 8 months away before they can do anything. And of course, the government mortgage charters allow people to start taking action 6 months or more. So what you'll need to do, of course, is you'll need to keep in touch with these people in a way that keeps your name in the frame. And I use, and many mortgage brokers and mortgage advisors use, what we call the incubator. Now, an incubator is used for newborn babies to keep them alive, chickens to keep them alive as well. So why don't we keep our customers alive in the same way? And I'm going to show you how this works visually, and then I'll show you the tech that you might want to use in your incubator. So here's a picture of the incubator. So let's just move across here so you can see this clearly. Now it's based upon a brandy still, actually, of all things. I love my brandies, you know. This thing here is where the wine, I think, or the eau de vie they call it, is boiled, and then the steam goes up through here, and then eventually makes its way along to this thing here, which then distills it into brandy. Then it's double distilled. So that's where it comes from. Now the way it works is when you have a client that you've spoken to and they can't do anything for a few months, or when you've just had a chat with somebody who's vaguely interested in what you do, but you need to keep in touch with them, then you add that person individually into your main funnel of the incubator. And as you can see from the picture there, that little person now is joining a number of other people that you've already got in your incubator. And these people are 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 300, 5,000, 10,000. It depends on how your software works, and many of us use things like MailChimp or a CRM system, a customer relationship management system. Something like MailChimp will do it for you, Constant Contact. These are automated software where you keep people's email addresses and names and details. Your clients, pretty much. Now, your network may have their own one, I get all that, but why not have one of your own if you're allowed to, because you need to keep control of this. Now, the whole point about the incubator and the brandy analogy comes back, is that incubator there needs keeping warm. Now, with the brandy, of course, they boil it, and the eau de vie then boils into vapour and off it goes. Now, you don't want to boil your customers. I think the FCA would have something to say about that, wouldn't they? I think that's probably one of the MCOB rules, do not boil customers. But you want to keep them warm. You want to keep them interested in you and what you do and how you operate. And that's where good mortgage advisors, mortgage brokers will send things to people. Like an email system is ideal. So a weekly email, for example. I mean, I do them, as you probably know, weekly emails to quite a few thousand people we have in our incubator. And I have podcasts and YouTube live streams. I do all sorts of things. But, you know, a mortgage advisor, you might want to send an email once a week with useful information that they can't get from ChatGPT or the internet, or they can't be bothered to go and get it, maybe. So your insights, your ideas, your thoughts about the mortgage market and where things are going. Don't just repeat what's available on the internet. Don't just say, attention, Bank of England increase their base rate by 0.25%. You know, people get all that on their news feeds. They don't need to be told that, but they may want your insights as to what the implication is, how will it affect their mortgage, etc. So that's the incubator. You can use podcasts, you can use videos, you can use emails, something just to keep people warm. Even if it's birthday cards or Christmas cards, because you've got their addresses, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a bit corny, isn't it? Sending somebody a birthday card. But, you know, it's actually quite nice. I mean, I'm 60 in October, and I'll probably get about 6 birthday cards, because when you get old like me, you don't get many cards. You know, when you're a kid, you get loads, don't you? So getting a card from my financial advisor is actually quite nice. So think about that. So anything you can do, just keep in touch with people. Now, here's the point behind the incubator. Because you're just keeping in touch with people en masse, by using technology. You're not speaking to people individually. You will do. You'll have diary notes to contact people according to when their fixed rate's coming up, etc. But people will reach out to you. When they get to know you and trust you and like you, they will reach out. And if you look closely at the incubator, this particular person wants to reach out to you. So they're going to fly along that little tunnel there into your sales process. So that's your sales funnel. And that's your regulated sales process. So remember the 15-minute discovery call, fact-finding, dips, all those sort of things. And you run the sales process with that person because they're ready to go. Their motivation is high. They've been qualified. And the little side entrance there is for people that join your sales funnel, like a bought lead, for example, or referral. And these are people that want to take action now, so they will join you straight away. They don't need to go into the incubator. But once, of course, you've done the business with them, then you put them back into the incubator, because that's what you do to keep in touch with people. It's all about keeping the name in the frame. So that's my incubator metaphor for you. I hope you like that one. I particularly like the brandy that comes out of it, but we won't talk about that too much. Okay, let's get on to our next or final commitment technique, number 4 here for you, which I call landmines, which sounds pretty awful with the war in Ukraine, of course, going on, and the Russians mining their defences. We read about that's pretty nasty. But the point I'm making here is that one of the problems you'll have with clients and customers, particularly in the current environment where they may not need to move quickly, they have got time maybe, or there's other people begging for their business, is these people may go elsewhere. One of the biggest challenges you've got with your clients is DIY, do it yourself. Now, my old dad, who lives in France, as you know, when we were younger, we would be challenged to buy him presents for Christmas and birthdays. And what do you buy your dad for Christmas? Or what do you buy your granddad for Christmas? Because these people got most things they want anyway. So what we did with my dad, because he was into DIY, do it yourself, we just used to buy him tools. We used to walk down to Woolworths, do you remember them? We used to buy tools and give them for birthday and Christmas. It was just easy to do that. The problem is, my old dad, he's collected all these tools. He's a bit of a hoarder. And this is a photograph. You can't see this on the podcast. This is a photograph of my dad's tool shed. Now take a look at what's going on there. Just zoom in for you so you can see all that. There are thousands and thousands of tools which we've bought him over the years. Look at all the saws at the top there. There's about 10 different saws and screwdrivers and boxes. There's another picture for you of more and more tools because he's never thrown any away. Now that, my friends, is your competition. It's called do it yourself. Your customers may go directly to the lender and do it themselves. They're going to the lender, of course, but they're not talking to a lender. They're not talking to a person. They're just doing it themselves using their app. Or they might go online and do it themselves. That's your biggest competitor right now. And the way you handle that is you lay landmines. Now, here's the picture of the danger mines. You lay landmines for the future, so that when you're not there and they're at home watching telly or whatever, and they're tempted to do it yourself, the little landmine that you laid in their head blows up and it reminds them of what you said. And I've got 4 examples for you. See what you think about these. I've written them down here on the screen, but I'll verbally tell you what they are. The first one here is, I'm your best bet, by the way, to talk about this mortgage transfer, because I'm human. I'm a human being. Funny that, isn't it? When you talk to these websites now, these online chat boxes, there's never people behind them. They're all robots, aren't they? And artificial intelligence. So all you've done there is you've put a little landmine in the client's mind that when they go onto these chat boxes, do you want to chat to somebody? There's never a human there. It's artificial intelligence, it's algorithms, and it's true. You don't get through to humans anymore, do you? So you've just subtly said that you're human. They're not. So that's the first landmine that you're putting down. Here's another example for you. Like this one. Compare.com type sites always have tempting low prices, don't they, to draw you in. Just like Tesco's with their club card offers. But when you get in, they add all sorts of extras to the price. And you end up paying a lot more than you intended to. Okay, that's enough. You don't need to say any more. Okay, you put the landline in their mind. So when they're on to comparethemarket.com, comparethemeerkat.com or whatever, and they're looking at different prices for the insurance, maybe £6.50, that's cheap. That lures them, and they suddenly remember, oh God, Paul said, that once they lure you in, they then put their prices up again. So that's another landmine. Here's a third one for you, like this one. I have details of options from dozens of insurance companies. You won't get that many options online. So when you're selling protection, you promote your software, which is very expensive to license, by the way. It's not available to individuals. It's just to the trade. But we can get access to dozens of different insurance companies' products. If you go online, by the way, you can't get as many as we have available to you. You just nod and get their opinion on that one. Again, another landmine. Here's one more for you. I like this one, one of my favourites. My software is really expensive and can literally get me hundreds of options for cover or for the mortgage. This software is only available to the trade, so you won't get this online. I use the word trade as well. I know we don't want to think about we do it. We're professionals, aren't we? Professional, qualified mortgage advisors. But we're a trade. So, because I'm in the trade, I get to have access to this software, which you wouldn't get anywhere else online. So these are landmines, aren't they? I like those. Do you like those? I hope that's been useful for you.